All right, Shalom Israel. This is the brother of Warba coming back at you again with this truth and another lesson. Before I kick it off, I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to you hopeful elect that are out there doing this work in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the planet Earth. Also, shalom to you sincere Aqua that are out there that are subscribed to this channel and that are listening and helping to do the best that they can while they're here laboring in this truth. All right. And what I mean by laboring, of course, is believing in if you may possibly be a wife of somebody that is doing the work and doing the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. So without further ado, today's topic, what I want to get into is just talking about casting lots. Okay, it is a thing that we used to do, and it was real common throughout ancient Israel, and it was just a common thing or a common custom that we used to keep to help us determine, the best direction for us, or if we got in a certain situation and we didn't know what to do. Okay, so casting a lot, if you don't know what that is, basically is done by what you see on the screen here is by a series of rocks. Okay, now I've prepared a few scriptures, of course, and things like that to help us break it down and go through the history of it first. But first we want to get the meaning and the understanding of what it is to cast a lot. Okay, so you see these stones right here that are on here that are marked with certain symbols. Sometimes they were marked with certain Hebrew. These right here are called runes. Okay, rune stones. And what those rune stones do, okay, it's basically like a method that the Israelites use to determine the will of the Most High. Okay, you can use sticks, stones, rocks, even bones. Okay. And a lot of times when you'll see it, you may not understand what it is. But in a lot of island countries, or a lot of islands and a lot of other places, you'll see, Israelites, or you'll see people use, a whole bunch of these different things, and it looks like voodoo of some sort. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just show you an example of what I mean by casting this lot. But before I do that, again, understand that this is used by the Israelites to find out the will of the Heavenly Father, okay, to help you make the proper decision, okay, whether it was, finding out a regular decision on something that you have in your daily life, but also is used for tribal customs to help determine tribal inheritances, what land, what portion that a certain family was getting, or even to help you in deciding to go to war or not. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and show you a little clip, and this is from the Pirates of the Caribbean. Okay, and I already have it kind of pulled up, and so I'm going to go ahead and show you this so that you can have a clearer understanding, okay, what I mean by a lot.
No worries, mates. Theodore and I go way back.
Jack Sparrow.
Theodore.
I always know the wind was going to blow you back to me one day.
It seems we have a need to find the Flying Dutchman.
Watch this. This is played by Benjamin.
A touch of destiny.
So basically right there, she just cast a lot to find out the will of, the fortune of what was going to happen concerning the question that Orlando Bloom asked in that particular situation. Okay, so you got to remember, the whole point of this lesson is this is also a tool used to help you within your daily lives, brothers. So If it's a situation where you don't have sound advice, and a lot of us go to the Akim because the scriptures tell you, to use the Akim, or to not necessarily use Akim, but what I'm trying to say is do nothing without advice. Okay? 2 heads are better than 1. But also you got to understand that what I'm talking about here is scriptural. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get a couple of precepts. It's going to be Proverbs, the 16th chapter and the 33rd verse. Okay? So we can get some clearer understanding on this topic. All right? Here it is. It says, "The lot is cast into the lap, but the whole disposing thereof is of the Lord." Okay? So let's look at that word disposing real quick. Okay? Mashapat, which is a judgment. Okay? We already know that from just knowing the Hebrew. Us at Great Millstone, we in this thing. We not new to this, we true to this. All right? So not only do we go into the etymology, but we also go into the Hebrew. Okay? I'm one of the brothers of my camp that is pretty decent with the Hebrew, I should say. Okay? And so this word here, mashapat, and it means judgment, justice, or ordinance, okay, or act of deciding a case. So of course, what we're talking about here, that's abaratazah, the Lord's will, okay? And so the lot is cast into the lap, but the whole disposing there is of the Lord, okay? So whenever you cast this lot and you determine what the outcome is, that was already predestined by Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua, okay? So the Most High leads your steps with that. And so it's very important to have the proper understanding of this tool, that way that you can actually use it to help you make better decisions throughout your daily life. But usually it's always used when it comes down to an important decision, okay, something of importance. All right, even myself, I have come accustomed to not necessarily using stones or rocks, but in modern, today life, I usually flip a coin. Okay, you flip a coin, you cast a lot. All right, and I go with it from there. I don't steer away from it, or I don't go against the decision, because that is not having faith in the Lord. Okay. And I've just a living testimony. I've had situations to where I've casted a lot and, went against it and got myself in a very bad situation. All because I didn't want to adhere or take heed or listen to the outcome of the lot that I casted. All right. And then vice versa on that side. I've also listened to a lot, and it actually had me delivered out of a situation to where I would have got myself in really in some bad shape. Okay, I've casted a lot to where something's told me not to go somewhere when I really wanted to go someplace, and I thought it was good. Everything leaded up to me. Yeah, man, I'm gonna go. It looks like I should go. And then at that time I was using I didn't have no whip, no car, right? And so I thought to go to the mall or whatever, and I ended up casting a lot on it because I wasn't sure whether or not to do it. And I did, and the lot said not to go, and I listened. And what I came to find out was that it rained in a torrential downpour, and had I went on my own understanding and went against what the lot was cast, I'd have been drenched, I'd have been stuck. My phone was about to die, and I didn't have no way to get back. You know what I'm saying? And that's just one particular situation. So, brothers, just be mindful if you do cast lots, which this is a lesson just giving you some edification on how and why to cast lots. Be mindful to go with it and see it through. Okay? I'm going to give you some other examples of just, in the scriptures of how Israelites leaned on lot casting, man, when it came down to certain things. So this is Chronicles 25:8, and this is right here. It says, "And they cast lots, ward against ward, as well as small, as well the small as the great, the teacher and the scholar." Okay, so everybody from great to small, man, cast lots. It's not something just for a leader of your camp to do, but the greatest to the lowliest brother, a new brother coming in, can actually cast lots, to get the decision and get the will of the Heavenly Father answered unto them. This was something that was used throughout our custom. Okay, even in Isaiah. Okay, so in the Old Testament, Isaiah 34, I want to believe 34 and 17. Got me some things prepared here, Akim, so bear with me. This is Isaiah 34 and 17, and it says, He hath cast the lot for them, and his hand divideth it unto them by line. Okay, so this is talking about tribal inheritance here. Okay, because if you can go throughout the scriptures, you can get the account on your own, you got more time. But whenever we moved into the promised land after coming out of Egypt, for we were many, we had 12 tribes. And so we had to find out which tribe was going to live where. Okay, and how we did that was by casting lots. Okay, and so this is Isaiah 34 and 17, He hath cast the lot for them, and his hand hath divided it unto them by line. They shall possess it forever, from generation to generation shall they dwell therein. Okay, so and another prominent one was whenever Judas Iscariot got done away with or whatever, they had to find a replacement for him. And how do you think that they did that? Okay, I think it's Acts 1. Yeah, Acts 1 in the 26th chapter. Okay, and this is what they did. They cast lots to pick the other 12, or the 12th person, 12th disciple. Acts 1:26, and they gave forth their lots, and the lot fell upon Matthias, and he was numbered with the 11 apostles. Okay, so a lot of times people will try to come out and say that casting lots is witchcraft, and in some cases it can appear to be witchcraft, like as you seen in the video where the Benjamite Calypso, she casted out bones or shells of a crab and things that of but in reality what she was doing was just divining and using the system of casting a lot to show the will and the find the determine or the will of the Heavenly Father. Okay, so it wasn't necessarily something called witchcraft, because it's something that we do. All right, all according throughout the scriptures. So it's not wicked to cast a lot. All right, let's just get that understanding proper right there. Okay. Another topic or another way that casting lots was a big deal, and it was more up on a sacrificial and more pure level, was with the Urim and the Thummim. Okay, not the Thurim, the Thummim. All right, and I'm going to go into that as well so that you have a clearer understanding of what the Urim and the Thummim is. The Urim and the Thummim is basically called, translated as the lights and perfections. Okay, Urim, a Warium, wa Thummim is what it is, or Thummim. Okay, and how we will get that and prove that is we'll go to Exodus, where is that at? Salakia, brothers, 28. Exodus 28 and 30. Okay. Now the Urim and the Thummim, okay, was actually, this is what it looks like. Okay, it looks like the ephod, but I'm gonna pull it up. I have it stowed here for us. There you go. Okay, looks a lot like that right there. Okay, it has different sacred jewels, and it's a piece that was worn by the Levites. Okay, the priests. All right. Because it is a instrument or a tool for judgment, man. Okay, to judge the people. And how will we know that? According to the scriptures. Let's get it. And it says, and thou shalt put in the breastplate of the judgment the Urim and the Thummim, and they shall be upon Aaron's heart, wherein he goeth in before the Lord. And Aaron shall bear the judgment of the children of Israel upon his heart before before the Lord continually. So this is where he would go to judge Israel, man. Okay? You would go before the priests, the Levites, to get that big decision, man. Whether it may be, whether you were guilty or whether you were innocent. Okay? And actually that word Thammin or Thummin, if we get into it, I know a lot of brothers like to use that. Okay? Well, we're going to get some understanding on that. All right? Mainly as lights and perfections, because Thummin is perfection. But let's look at the root word of that. Okay? The word thumb. Okay? Integrity, completeness, innocence. Okay? Innocence. Lights and innocence. To see if you're really true. And then we click on Thammin to be complete, to be finished, to be an end, to be finished. Okay? To be finished, to be consumed, to be destroyed. Alright? Salagi, that's just a thing. Thammin, through. Alright? But yes, this was to get back to the point, the Urim and the Thummin was used as a sacrificial or really holy instrument to judge, man. Okay? To find out the will of the Heavenly Father. All right, so we're going to read that again. This is Exodus 28 and verse 30, and it says, "And thou shalt put in the breastplate of judgment the Urim and the Thummim, and they shall be upon Aaron's heart. And when he goeth in before Yahweh, and Aaron shall bear the judgment of the children of Israel upon his heart before the Lord continually. And then it goes in and tells you exactly how it was made. Okay? That's right. And it says, "And thou shalt make a plate of pure gold, engrave upon it like the engravings of the signet, holiness to the Lord." All right? So they have a whole get up that they wear whenever you go before them into the temple and do the judgment and do the ceremony on that one. Okay? So this is ultimately how it was done. Okay? And so I didn't really want to make this extremely too long, but I wanted to get the edification out there and get the proper understanding of what casting lots was, and what, the lights and the perfections, the Urim and the Thummim was, and what they were used for. Okay? So, I'm pretty much in with that. I hope this lesson was edifying. And, until next time, I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honors to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles, great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the humble and hopeful elect. Shalom.